What's going on, man?
Going on?
You old enough to carry that thing?
Barely.
You should at least have it in a case or something, dude.
Nah.
What's your name, man?
Justin.
Haha, just in case.
I got the Civil War Musket in a poker game against my uncle. My uncle decided he'd try to teach me a lesson about gambling. Well, the lesson he taught me is he lost and I won, so I'm gonna keep gambling.
Where in the world did you get this thing?
Won in a poker match.
Oh, okay. Do you know much about it?
Not much. I know it's an 1863 Colt musket.
Yeah, they were issued during the Civil War.
No name has contributed more to American firearms than Samuel Colt. It's one of the most collected and revered firearms out there. On top of that, it's from the Civil War, and that can make the value go through the roof.
This is the weird thing about it. An 1863 gun that was issued during the Civil War was a used gun. Guys would drag these things around the mud, the muck, and hammer nails with them and everything else, and you have a gun here that looks like it's never been used. The stock's perfect. There's zero wear on anything. The barrel is perfect. See this yellowing right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's not rust. That's dry oil, what they originally packed it in.
Oh, wow.
Either it's the nicest Model 1861 ever to exist, or it's fake.
No?
This thing could have been owned by, like, Ulysses S. Grant or something, dude. You don't know. You want to call up Sean, get an expert down here?
Either he's selling me a fake, or somehow he got a hold of a mint condition Civil War rifle.
Usually when it's too good to be true, it usually is. I really, really want someone to check it out.
Have somebody come look at it.
Okay. Let me get him down here.
All right.
How's it going, guys? I specialize in antique arms and armor, and the guys call me whenever they got any kind of weird guns that come in they don't know anything about.
Looks too good to be true, almost.
This is a Model 1861 Colt Special Rifle Musket. They made these as large contracts to the U.S. government for the Civil War. This one was dated 1863, and this is like in scary condition. And what I mean by that is that there's no dings or major scratches or anything. All the edges are sharp. When you come across a gun in this kind of condition, and you really have to scrutinize all the little nuances about the gun. Is it cleaned in any way? Has it been refinished? There's a couple of things that are jumping out at me that may explain why it's in such good condition. If you see right here, there's an NJ, and that is a New Jersey acceptance mark. So this was in the New Jersey arsenal. But I will add this to it. There are no government inspector cartouches that would be located here on the side of the stock. This is not the original stock to the gun. I think that the original stock was damaged, and if they weren't accepted by the military inspector, they weren't issued to the soldiers on the front line. I've determined that probably the original was damaged, and then it was restocked to be sold as surplus or to a militia unit. This is definitely a restock, but not a recent restock. This is an old one. You know, the barrel and most of all the furniture was probably to an original rifle, and they just salvaged the parts.
I'm so relieved this gun is real. I had my doubts, but hey, sometimes even I'm wrong.
So what do you think it's worth?
I would say in this condition, because of these issues, I'm going to say probably 12, maybe 2,000, somewhere in that range.
Okay. Thanks, Sean.
Absolutely.
$1,200 to $2,000 is not bad for something you won in a poker game. I just hope he's willing to sell it for a reasonable price because I want it.
So what do you want for it?
1,500.
What do you really want?
1,500.
I mean, you wouldn't take $700 for it?
No.
But you would take $800 for it.
No way.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I like it.
I mean, you just heard Sean. Realistically, like $1,200 to $2,000, and you know, today's economy, it's usually the bottom number, not the top one.
Well, let me think about it.
All right, man. Yeah, the offer stands.
Okay, cool.
All right, thanks
you.
for coming in, man.
Thanks a lot. I decided to hang on to the gun because I really like it. Down the road, if I find the right collector, you know, I could get a little more change for it.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, Bob, how's it going?
Good, how you doing?
What do you got this time?
Civil War Cavalry Saber.
Just like in many businesses, I got repeat customers. And Bob has been selling me Civil War antiques for years. Yeah, it looks like it still has blood on the end of it.
Isn't that cool?
I'm here today at the pawn shop to try and sell my authentic Civil War Cavalry Saber. I'm hoping to sell this thing today for anywhere $1,500, maybe $2,000.
God, it's incredible shape. Almost too good. I mean, if it was actually used in the Civil War, they would have put an edge on it, and an edge has never been put on this. Really odd that it's not sharpened up.
Well, this is the real deal.
My biggest concern with any antique that looks too good to be true is generally it is too good to be true. How much were you looking to get out of it?
Well, I've done a little bit of research on it, and in this kind of condition, they go for $1,500 to $2,000.
That's retail, so if you go open up a store, that's what you can probably get out of it.
Yeah. It's a pretty valuable sword, I believe.
Sometimes I feel like a broken record. I can't buy things for retail prices. If I bought and sold and everything for the same price, I'd be out of business. I'm definitely interested, but I'd really like to have it checked out by somebody.
Okay, good.
Okay, I got a buddy who deals in Civil War memorabilia. I'd like to have him come in and check it out.
Fine.
I know Rick's suspect because the condition's so good. I would welcome an expert to come and check it out.
Well, I'll bring him by, and we'll get this thing checked out.
Great, thanks.
What I love about my job is I get to hold pieces of history that maybe only museums would have. You don't know who held it before. You know, maybe somebody famous, held this and used this to defend himself. These weapons are just cool. Any provenance, any paperwork?
No, I got it from my granddad.
Okay, so what concerns do you have, Rick?
I just want to make sure it was real. I mean, it does look in pretty good shape for being this old.
You know, you just don't find swords like this, in this kind of condition, so I can understand your caution.
I know it looks too good to be true, but there's an expert in there and he'll confirm it. I feel pretty good. I'm a little nervous about it, but not a lot.
The majority of the reproductions and fakes are coming out of India. If this were to be a reproduction, there's a couple of traits that you look for. The blades have, wavy, pound marks, and they're just horrible. They don't, put the attention to detail, especially in the markings. And there's a couple other little marks here that I want to see, in which here they are. Here's an H stamped, so that's a great sign.
What's the H stand for?
It's a military inspector. And here also you see the US stamp for that it was definitely military issue.
What about not having an edge on the sword?
This is exactly how they were issued, with a blunt edge. It was really more of a personal preference if you wanted to have a sharpened edge, because on a horse, these swords were held off to the side. And if at a full gallop charge, if you can imagine just clipping people, it would really inflict some damage. Just from the little contact marks that I can see on the edge, that this was actually used. The markings are absolutely genuine. They're exactly what you want to see. So this was definitely a sword that was used in the Civil War.
Sean sure knows a lot about this sword. I'm really happy that Rick brought him in. So Sean, what do you think this is worth?
In an auction setting, I would say anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000.
Great.
All right, Sean, thanks for coming in.
Absolutely, Rick. Anytime.
Am I happy this sword is real? Yes. My only concern now is, how much is it going to cost me?
You like it, don't you?
I like it.
How about $3,000?
How about no?
We know it's worth up to $4,000 at a good auction.
Well, that's just it. He said $2,000 to $4,000 in an auction, which means between $2,000 and $4,000, okay? Which is a crapshoot of what you get.
I follow.
Okay? They'll probably charge you a catalog fee. They'll charge you a 25% auction fee, and the auction won't be for like another 6 to 8 months. So right around a year, you'll get paid. And if it sells for $2,000 after all your fees and everything, you'll get like $1,300.
Well, then why don't we call it $1,500 and everybody's happy?
I'd give you like $1,000 for it. And I think it's a fair price.
All right, let's do the deal.
Okay, thanks.
All right, good. I'm actually pretty happy. I've got $1,000 in my pocket instead of an old sword in the closet at home.
Let's go do the paperwork.
Okay.
I'm pretty happy right now. I got the sword I wanted and at the price I wanted. And that just doesn't happen every day.
I'm here to tell you a Bible today.
It better be real old, man, because there's a lot of them out there.
Actually, it's got a handwritten letter on the back cover from Mickey Mantle to Roger Maris in 1977 during a Mickey Mantle rehab stay.
Yeah, he was quite the party animal there, wasn't he?
Yeah. Everybody knows Mickey Mantle, so any Yankees fan, it would be like the holy grail to own something like that. I'd like to get $1,500 for it. I'd be negotiable.
If it was just a Mickey Mantle thing, I would just tell you to kick rocks. He made more money as an autograph signer than he ever did as a baseball player, and at one time he was the highest paid baseball player in the world. But the fact that it's a letter to Roger Maris is definitely cool, especially since apparently he was in rehab while he wrote it because he took more than a couple trips there.
Mickey Mantle was one of the greatest players of all time, but he had a lifelong struggle with alcoholism. For an autograph like this, the money's all in the story. So I just need to make sure it checks out.
All right, so what does the letter say?
It says to Roger, I want to thank you for your kind letters. I never thought our friendship would reach past the playing field. Every day it blossoms. I have no paper to write on, so I hope the Lord will bless you through this book. As he has done me, God bless Mickey Mantle.
All right, so have you ever got it certified or?
I haven't. I thought about sending it off to PSA and just hadn't had time to do that.
Any idea what you think it might be worth?
I was thinking maybe around $1,500.
It could be worth it, but you know, if he was in rehab, it sounds really, really preachy and not very Mickey Mantle-ish. I mean, the whole story just sounds way too good to be true. Plus, you got somebody that covered the whole thing up in packing tape. Let me have a buddy of mine that authenticates for a PSA come check this out and see what he thinks it is.
Okay, great.
You want to give Steve a call?
Yeah.
I'm glad they're going to bring somebody in. We're hoping that it's authenticated and real and worth a lot of money, and we can do some good things with the money.
What's happening?
Apparently, we got a Bible with a handwritten note from Mickey Mantle to Roger Maris while Mickey Mantle was in rehab.
That's pretty interesting. If Mantle wrote anything, you know, along the lines with good content to Roger Maris, you're looking at some huge money.
That'd be amazing, yeah.
Well, check it out, man. Tell us what you think.
The first thing I want to do is take a look at the ink. Now, it looks like maybe a tape was kind of applied to it first.
I don't know if somebody did that to try to preserve it, but it kind of made it a little bit blurry.
Well, yeah, that would happen. I mean, it would kind of pull that ink into the tape, so that's kind of that effect you get with that. Looks like it's signed to Roger. I want to thank you for your kind letters. I hope the Lord will bless you through this book. Yours truly, Mickey Mantle.
It just doesn't sound very Mickey Mantle-ish. 1977, if he is in rehab, I'm assuming it's more of a letter, oh man, I can't believe I'm in this place. These guys say I'll get out of here in 4 to 6 weeks.
Most of the stuff I saw Mantle write was more or less obscenity-laced. And I brought some examples of what we're looking at here, just in general. One of the few, by the way, of Mickey Mantle that's actually circulated in collections. But you see his writing. It's block lettering and his signature. This is from 1977. We're looking at a signature with speed, with flow, spontaneity. From this one to this one, there's no doubt in my mind Mickey Mantle never signed this.
Well,
it is just so far off, it's not even funny. It's a nice Bible to hold on to and maybe read from, but other than that, it's got nothing to do with Mantle or Maris. I can guarantee you that.
Yep, thanks, Steve.
All right, guys, good to see you, man. I think there's no question that when someone did this, they were just looking to make a buck. All they want to do is make money and profit off you.
Well, man, if something's too good to be true, it probably is. Thanks for coming down.
Well, I was very disappointed, but I'm a treasure hunter, and I'm not going to be discouraged by this one setback. I'll be back out next weekend trying to find the Holy Grail.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you today?
Oh, pretty good. What do we have here?
Well, it's a Claude Monet painting.
Is there just a weird chance that your name is Claude Monet, or is this actually the Claude Monet?
No, this is the actual guy.
Okay. Where in the hell did you get this?
Collateral for a loan.
Okay. The guy just defaulted on the loan, or?
No, actually, he took the money, went in the hospital, and died.
Okay.
So that, I guess, in itself is a default. I've had the painting for 3 years, and to be honest with you, it's not really my kind of art. I am not an art collector. But I know if it's real, it's probably worth in the neighborhood of $2 to $3 million.
Do you have a date or anything else like that when it was done, when it was painted?
I don't.
Is there a title to it? It was just...
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, was this guy really well off?
He was. He was a doctor.
All right. I mean, I know a little bit about Monet. He started arguably one of the biggest art movements ever, the Impressionist movement. There was Pissarro, there was Renoir. All these really, really great artists came out of it.
So he started this.
He started it. I mean, Impressionism is named after his painting, Impression Sunrise. That's why his paintings are worth so much money. The things that made Monet paintings so great, they were a little bit blurry. That's Impressionism. But you could still see detail and depth. That's what made them so special, and that's why they go for millions and millions of dollars.
What I have here is some documentation,
Okay.
some provenance for you that you can look at.
All right, so May 1st, 1965. Our findings as follows. The painting is solidly constructed casual canvas, a typical Claude Monet from his early period. Okay.
Then we jump forward to 1997. The painting was actually displayed at the Las Vegas Museum of Fine Arts.
Okay.
This was the insurance policy for that painting at that time. And it was insured at that time at $2.1 million.
People have walked in my shop and I have bought hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of merchandise off them. But a real Monet, that might be the most expensive item yet. So you want to sell it, correct?
Correct.
You know, I just 100%, I am not qualified to say if this is real or not. Okay. But I might have a lowly pawn shop, but I do spend some serious money every once in a while.
Sure.
So let me get a friend down here.
Okay.
If this is legit, I think we can both make money off it. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. I'll be right back.
Thanks. If they bring some people in, it only helps the situation. I'm hoping to walk out with $1 million.
Oh my gosh, this is the Monet.
This is it.
All right. Monet's one of the biggies. I mean, when you think of fine art masters, Monet's right up there near the top of the heap. He established probably the most important artistic movement of the last 200 years. I mean, there's prestigious museums that can't get hold of a Monet, so you don't expect to see one in a Las Vegas pawn shop.
You say I'm not prestigious? Yeah, well, really?
Nothing personal. I love Impressionism. The way that they were able to configure and juxtapose in short dabs of color to where as you step back from the painting, your eye puts it all into focus in a natural way is phenomenal. Now, was it on exhibit at the Las Vegas Art Museum?
It was in
All right.
1997.
Okay. They say early period, which is very vague. I mean, he lived a very long life.
Yeah.
He started painting very early, so what's early period? It doesn't really tell you a whole lot. But he was a perfectionist, and a lot of his lesser pieces have kind of been lost to time. So this may have been a piece that he did, perhaps as a study to another piece. Let me take a closer look at it, if you don't mind. My first impressions of the piece is it certainly looks like something Monet would have painted late 1870s when he was fascinated with a lot of rural France and he was trying to capture the pristine, untouched beauty of some of those types of areas. It's indicative of Monet's brushstrokes. Impressionists were all about, as the name would indicate, capturing the impressions of a scene. And when you work in plein air, out in the open air, it's all about speed. I mean, because the lighting changes, the wind kicks up, the shadows move. So you have to really capture the impressions quickly. The brushstrokes are there. It's very thin. Usually you'll get some sort of impasto, a little bit more texture. He usually had some texture in his pieces, and this, again, there's very little of that. He also was known for having a very, vibrant palette. All of the master works that you see have every color of the rainbow. I mean, you've got purples, you've got oranges, you've got reds, you've got greens, and there's very little of that. But that having been said, I don't want to dismiss it because, again, you're talking about a piece that, if it's authentic, this could be a $5 million piece. But on the same token, you have to be really careful.
So red flags means it's not real, or?
I'd like to get a second opinion because, again, when you start talking about these types of upper echelon pieces, the more opinions you can get, the better.
Okay.
And just because there's a few red flags that I see, he may not see it that way.
That's fine with me.
Okay. Is that okay, Rick?
Sure, yeah, give him a call.
Okay, I will. If this piece is authentic, this could certainly be the most valuable piece I've ever checked out for Rick. You really have to dot your I's and cross your T's, and it always helps to get another opinion. Gerard is the man that I go to in our gallery when we have masterpieces come through just to verify authenticity and things like that. I trust his opinion implicitly, so.
Okay.
I'm a fine art expert specialized in authentication of important masters. Before to look at the name, you look at the technique, because you see rapidly the difference between a Sunday morning painter and a real artist. If this is a real Monet, it will be a very important Monet because of the size and also because of the subject, because he is a painter from the outdoors, from the landscapes. Monet is known for that quality. The first thing, if it's a Monet, it should be 150 years old. So we should at least see cracks in the painting. Yeah. Also here in the signature, there is absolutely not one crack. That's interesting. Yeah. If we look on the back of this painting, may I lift it?
Sure,
No problem?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. What I'm looking at is at the texture, the canvas, all indication of who it could be. You will have all the oil paint sweating through the canvas. Here you don't see that.
So is it real?
It's in the style of Monet, but it's not absolutely not by the hand of Claude Monet.
Really?
Yeah.
How sure are you of this?
200% sure, because there is absolutely not one crack in the paint itself, which is not usual for 150 years old painting. Also, what you notice is almost all in one plane. Monet will have showed this with shadows. This will be much more pronounced. This is too flat.
Wow, really?
And
Not
probably
real.
Not real.
Oh.
Usually when it's too good to be true, it generally is.
Well, that's disappointing.
Well, thanks for bringing it in. It was fun. Man, if I lost out on millions, I would be bummed too. But not as bummed as me shelling out millions for a fake.
Earlier, I got a call from a guy selling an antique cannon. I can tell he means business because he wants to meet at the shooting range. So I'm taking Corey, Chum, and my buddy Sean to go check it out. So this is cool. What do we got here?
I have the cannon that Higgins used in Magnum PI.
What's Magnum PI?
Really, dude?
Magnum PI was a show in the 1980s. He lived in this giant house owned by some mysterious rich dude, and Higgins lived there too.
Talking about the hairy dude that always drove around the Ferrari?
Yeah. God.
Okay, I got you now. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
I called the guys down from the pawn shop today to check out my antique cannon. They always bring big bucks at the auctions. I'm looking to get 50 grand today, and the lowest at this point might be 30.
In the 1890s, let's say a guy had a 150-foot yacht, you wouldn't want to have a little toy cannon on there. It would look silly. So you have this.
So this was just used to signal people, or?
Yeah, it was never intended to shoot anything.
Okay.
This thing is awesome. You just don't see them this big because how many 200-foot yachts were there back then? Not a whole lot.
All right, so how did you get this thing?
I picked it up from another collector friend of mine.
Okay.
And I have pictures of the cannon in Magnum PI.
Magnum PI was an iconic show back in the 1980s.
Rick, look at this.
You gotta be kidding me.
That's pretty damn good.
What's it like to work with Burt Reynolds?
Who?
Burt Reynolds, Magnum PI.
I'm not Higgins. And that was Tom Selleck.
This is really unusual. I love antique guns that were used in TV shows, and Magnum PI was huge in the 80s. But even if collectors don't care about the TV angle, they'll love this cannon.
It was originally a muzzle loader, and Strong cut their breech on it and put it on their carriage.
If this is a Strong, they are the #1 as far as collectability for this type of a cannon.
So we got like the Cadillac of cannons here, right?
The Cadillac.
Yeah, I would say so.
Do you mind if my buddy Sean checks it out? Anything old arms, old armor, anything like that, he knows.
Sure.
Okay. It's just a couple things that I need to look at.
Things can really go wrong with a piece like this. So Sean really needs to check it out, just to make sure this thing isn't too good to be true.
This is the marking you want to see. Strong manufacturing, New Haven, Connecticut, USA. It's kind of rubbed out, but right in between this arc and the bottom is a Federal Eagle stamp, which is synonymous with that marking.
So did they just put this apparatus on the back of it, or did they do anything else to the cannon?
Chances are they probably would have sleeved the interior just for added strength. This is a nice quality piece. It's rare because of the size, and very, very collectible because of the strong conversion.
Okay, so what do you think it's worth?
Minimum 20,000, maybe to 40,000. The other part of it is it has provenance from being on television shows. That adds a premium, but the only place to really maximize is an auction because of the exposure. All you need are 2 people that want this item bad enough, and even if, let's say, the auction estimate is 20 to 40, they may take it to 80 or 100.
Yeah.
You know, you just never know.
Yeah.
All right, so after hearing all that, how much you want for it?
I'll tell you what, let's breech load it up, fire it off, and then we'll talk.
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's shoot it real quick. It'll be fun.
When he was saying $20,000 to $40,000, it was a low estimate. If I haven't sold these guys on this cannon yet, wait till they see it after we fire it.
Okay, guys, we're gonna fire this thing?
Let's do it.
All right, load her up. Let's keep a good distance, and I don't want anybody standing directly behind the breech. If this thing were to come off, it's gonna come off straight. Being now over 100 years old, that's going to be the weakest point. All right, let's do it.
Do it up, Higgins.
Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire. I knew that was going to be a good one.
Oh my God! Wow! Nice.
Unbelievable how loud this thing is. I want this cannon. That was really nice. That was really cool, but let's talk some money. How much you want for it?
Can we start at 60,000?
You can start anywhere you want. Magnum PI is cool, but if you want cash now, 12 grand is what I'd pay you for it.
Wow.
You know,
that's pretty light. How about you get me closer to 40?
I look at it, if I pay you cash, I take all the risk, I bring it to auction.
Yeah.
What I get is what I get.
Yep. It is one of a kind.
It's rare.
There'll never be anything like it again.
But I have to look at it from a financial point of view, and I'll tell you what, I'll give you 15 grand.
I'm willing to come down to 35, and that's my minimum.
You know, it's cool, dude, but I mean, we're just not gonna be able to make a deal.
That's all right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for showing it to me. Thanks for shooting it.
That was awesome.
He made a big mistake. He could have made a ton of money. I think he's kind of looking like a dumbass.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. What can I do for you?
I have this Star Wars Ewok telephone. I want to see what you think about it.
You mind if I take it out of the box?
Go ahead.
Ewok.
That was the little creature in Return of the Jedi, and they battled the stormtroopers.
Wasn't the
Empire.
popular one named like Wicket?
Yes,
or something like
and
that?
actually, I think this is Wicket. Would you like to make a call on it?
Why not? I got it here, don't I? I think he said, let's go on a picnic, Chum Chum. That's kind of weird. He knows my name.
Are you part Ewok that you were able to understand what he was saying?
I think my mom was from outer space, so you never know.
I have a Star Wars Ewok toy telephone I'm trying to sell today. And it's from 1984, and it's still in its original box. I'm hoping to get about $175.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's face it, Star Wars is gonna be popular forever. The reason being is because people your age like it, people older than you like it, people younger than you like it. I think this is a good item because there's not a lot of Wicked stuff around. It kind of makes the stuff a little more rare when you're collecting it.
Yes.
Let me take a look at the overall condition because on first glance it looks like perfect,
Yes.
almost too good to be true. Do you mind if I pop the battery thing open?
No, go ahead.
I'm imagining it was in this good condition that you probably
Yes.
didn't store it with the battery in
No.
it. So I just gotta check and make sure, you know. It looks pristine, and that's amazing because as a kid, I would have put a battery in this and I would have probably never took it out. And people don't realize the two easiest things to do is trash the box and corrode the battery pocket.
Yes.
Those are kind of the two things that really add to the value of
Yes.
an item because those are the first two things to go. How much are you looking to get for it?
I'd like to get maybe 175.
The box is in great condition. It's a great piece. It displays well. It looks awesome. And it is collectible. Plus, my boss is in London right now looking at a bunch of Star Wars stuff. So I think he'll like this. Would you take 75 for it?
Let me ask Wicket and see if he thinks that's good.
No, I actually think you should take 40. Whoa, Wicket! You're on my side.
He said, how about 100? That still gives you room to double it. You probably could get 200 out of it.
You wouldn't take 90?
How about 95?
What do you think, Wicket? I think that's a yes.
Yeah, I think he said yes.
Wicket can dance.
Wicket can
All right,
dance.
95, we got a deal.
Thank you.
Come on over here, let's write it up.
Okay, cool. I sold it for $95. I was hoping to get maybe a little more, but maybe I'll save it and buy another Star Wars item and add another item to my collection.
So did you miss me?
Didn't even notice you were gone.
Well, London was absolutely amazing. I bought a Star Wars poster signed by all the cast and the crew.
Heard you were out on a little Star Wars mission.
Yes, I was.
Check it out. Ewok talking telephone.
Okay.
You know who Wicket is, right? He just said, I'm an Ewok, give Chum a raise. He buys good things.
Okay, because I didn't understand one bit of it.
Well, you don't speak Ewok. I know this doesn't even come close to comparing with the big items that you saw.
I actually saw Han Solo's original blaster from the original movie.
It's pretty cool. Did you try to buy it?
No, it's like worth like $1 million.
So you're too cheap.
So how'd Spencer work out?
I mean, he knows his stuff. He's fairly good.
Oh, good.
But you have to tell me when you hire somebody so I know why he's in the cases.
I forgot.
Other than that, Spencer was fine. He caught on pretty quick. You know, and anytime you want to take a vacation, that's fine. Bring in Spencer.
You know what? I'm proud of my purchase here. I think you'll do good on it. Good job, Chum.
Good job, Chum.
Thank you.
So where's your next vacation?
I wonder if they got any cool stuff in the Bahamas.
I have something very, very unique that you've probably never seen before.
I've worked here 25 years, dude.
Okay. This is ancient Apsara dancer statue from the 10th century, made out of sandstone.
Okay, and where in the hell did you get this?
It's been in our family forever.
Since the 10th century?
I came down to the pawn shop to sell my old family heirloom. I've done some research, I've called some auction houses, and nobody could really tell me the real value. I want $5,000 for it, so I thought I would come down here, see what it's worth, and make a deal.
This is pretty cool. Can I pick it up?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, it's definitely sandstone, because if it was granite or marble, it'd weigh 3 times as much. Sandstone was the stone of choice when they built their temples, because if you see in a lot of their temples, there were statues everywhere. In the Hindu religion, they got thousands of gods. There was just so much that had to be done when they built these temples. They had to use a softer stone. It's really rare when you have a piece of art from this time period. Apsaras are like angels in Buddhist and Hindu cultures, and they're all carved differently, and each one has its own unique ornaments. If this Apsara is from the 10th century, that is amazing. I would love to have this in my store. I know I could sell it quick. But I'm gonna have to find out more about this because I don't normally get Apsaras. You said this has been in the family forever. Do you know how someone got it originally?
Not from a couple generations back. It came from India. We've had it sitting out there for a long time, and...
Okay, so you had an ancestor who was lived in India or visited there, or?
I'm from India myself.
Okay. If this is from the 10th century, it's uber cool because this is a real piece of art.
Okay.
And it's in amazing condition, and that's the part that scares the hell out of me.
Okay.
Because, you know, sometimes it's too good to be true.
This has been stored away for a long time, so we haven't had it sitting out there in the elements, been packed in a suitcase.
Okay. Well, if you've had it in a suitcase for like 100 years, what about the 900 years before
Right,
that? Or
what happened to it? We don't know.
So these are things I need to look into.
All right.
Because India was a really popular tourist spot for the past 150, 160 years. And when you have tourists, you have people who want to sell them stuff. There was a lot of fakes made, but there was also a lot of people grabbing every old temple and everything they could find to sell it to the British tourists because they had hard currency. So I need to know if it's real. I'm assuming you want to sell it?
Yes, yes.
And how much do you want for it?
I was asking $5,000 for it.
$5,000, okay. I would really like someone to check this out. I'm gonna call up my friend Phineas. He's a strange cat, but he really knows what he's talking about,
All right.
okay? He'll come in, he'll take a look at it, and we'll go from there.
That sounds good. I'm really excited to see what's really worth it. We've had this for a long time, and we're really looking forward to seeing, you know, what it's really worth and how old it really is.
I'm so glad you called me in to look at a piece like this. And I know some interior decorators that probably spring for that right now, you know, like to put it on their shelf. Rick sent me a text message of this image. And when I saw it immediately, I thought, wow, this is something I'd really love to take a look at because that's my expertise and I love Indian art. So I came immediately. So, Rick, what are your personal concerns about it?
Well, first off, he says it's from India and the 10th century, which means it's like 1,000, 1,100 years old.
Right.
It's in really good shape.
Yes.
Okay. I've never seen something sandstone this old.
Look this good.
Look this good, yes.
You're exactly right. Looking at the exquisite way that it's been preserved and the aging signs, if this were sandstone 1,000 years old, it would be pitted terribly. We never get them in museums that look like this. So you're calling this an Apsara, right?
Yes,
So an Apsara is a sky angel. To indicate Apsara, you want to see it flying, and it usually has feet that are kind of crossed or going up like this, you know, as if it's flying out of the sky. This piece is missing the feet, which is very interesting to me. So let's talk about the face. This face is not Indian. It's Cambodian.
Okay.
I found a photo that I had taken.
It looks just like it. Look at that.
And this is from Cambodia.
Okay.
Okay. And so you can see it's just a perfect kind of replication.
Pretty much identical almost.
Yes, pretty much identical. So, you know, I'm going to have to say it was a replication done in Cambodia, and it's probably like around maybe 75 to 150 years old. Somewhere in there, they did this statue.
What's something like this go for?
$1,200 to maybe like $2,200 on the upside.
Okay.
Would be what you're looking at.
Thanks, Phineas.
You are welcome, Rick. It's 1 in a million that I would actually have that photo in my collection. But it's still a beautiful piece, and it's something that I'm sure somebody out there would love to own and display in their home.
Are you still stuck on $5,000?
Like, not anymore.
Okay. So what are you willing to take for it?
18?
Okay, he just said it would go for 12 to 24.
Right.
Okay. And if I buy for 18, I'd most likely lose money. Maybe like $700 for it?
I would take 1,000. And it was in good shape.
I'll give you $800.
900?
No.
No. 850.
No. $800?
I'll do it.
Okay, sweet. Cool, man. I'll meet you right up front, and you even get to keep your box.
I felt okay about it. It's not really, you know, the 10th century artwork. I'd just rather sell it and keep going.